using your observation skills. Nearly got it. So I nearly got hit by a hare. Hello, how you doing? Well, you know how I'm always telling you in my videos that it's really advantageous to try and be the local wildlife expert in your area, to know the area really well. Well, hopefully today I'm going to try and prove to you how advantageous that can be. So yeah, let's see if this works and see what we can do. Right, so I've just taken a seat a little bit out of the way before I do what I'm going to do, but I wanted to explain a little bit about what I mean. So I've explained before where I live, and if you look on this map you can see the general location of where I live. We've got the A1 to the west of us, we've got the River Trent to the east of us, and there's basically a little slither of land about a mile across where Carlton-on-Trent is situated and one or two other villages. And over the past, well, since 1996, since we lived here, I've walked this area extensively. And because I'm a wildlife photographer, I'm always looking for things. I'm always looking for signs and signals of what's happening. And that's particularly easy to do with roe deer. So I've learnt over that period of time the pattern that the roe deer tend to have. And this morning when I was walking the dog, I'll show you on the map here, across this field here in that direction, there were two roe deer in the field there to the left of me, and they were sort of going in a northerly direction. So I know from my experience that this little slither of woodland here down the side of this little watercourse called the Beck it's basically a pinch point. After there's no real cover for them. And what I've found with roe deer over the years is what they tend to do is they'll hold up in little wooded areas throughout the day, and then they'll move during the night. So I'm almost 80% positive that the roe deer all day have been in this little slither of woodland. Now, I have tried, one of the shots I've always wanted to get is roe deer in the water, and I've caught them a couple of times in the beck, but I've never been able to get down the side of the bank quietly enough to get shots of them. Not real good shots anyway. I'll put this one up that I took a couple of weeks ago that was a nearly shot but not quite. On the bank of the beck there, just not in the water. So anyway, today what I've done, I've checked, they're not in the water on this side, so I had a little quick check of that. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to cross the beck. Now I have to be wary of wind direction, so depending on wind direction will depend on where I try and cross the water here. So I know today the wind is coming directly in my face from here, so I'm going to get on the far northerly point of the wood and try and get across and into the field on the other side. They won't come into this field on this side at the minute, and that's simply because the farmer has cattle in here and there's an electric fence up. And although I'm, again, 80% sure there's no electric going through that at the minute because the cattle haven't been in here for a while, the deer won't come across it. So I know they'll come out on the far side of the woodland. Now, it's not brilliant for the light because the sun is obviously going down in the west, so the wood will shade it. But other than that, if they do come out, obviously I'm going to try and get some shots. So really, just to prove that, you know, as I say, anybody can do this. The more you get out in your local area, the more knowledge that you can gain. And I think I said in my last video that not only does that help you in your local area, but it helps you when you go somewhere else. So I don't want to say cut corners, but if I go on holiday, I've got a head start on other people because I've learnt the behaviours of some of the animals, you know, and some are, even if they're different, if they're a different type of mammal, the behaviour can be quite similar. So you've got a little bit of a head start even if you're not photographing the same animal. So anyway, enough chatter from me. I've got to try and get across this beck now without A, electrocuting myself, and B, falling into the beck, and then I've got to try and climb up the steep bank on the other side again without dropping anything into the water. So wish me luck with that, and then it's through the nettles and hopefully into the field. The only problem I might have is if the deer are down on this corner, which it's a very thin slither here. It's where the woodland is sort of, you know, 2 trees wide. So probably they're going to be a little bit further up where it's wider and they've got a little bit more cover. So yeah, let's see what happens. This could be a very short video, or it could be me lying around for ages and nothing happening. But that's wildlife photography, but we'll see what we can do. Anyway, catch you in a minute. Safely into the water. The nettle in the face, bang. Right, through the woodland almost, unscathed, brought a few nettles with me. So I'm right in the far corner now. I can't see all the way up the edge of the woodland, but let me just show you. Farmer he's cut the crops, but he's left the straw down. I think we had a little bit of rain yesterday, so he's not yet. I think it's a little bit damp, so I think what I'm going to try and do is just get out and into that, because that provides me a little bit of cover lying down in the field. Yeah, I'm just going to get a little bit further out. As I say, I can't see up the field, but let's have it. As long as I'm of the field. Right, they're right up the other side, and I thought they would be. The only problem I've got is they're facing away from me, so that, just look at the time, 6:20. It could be that they're going to move back in the other direction now, out of this woodland and across the fields in that direction, in which case all I'm going to get is arse end shots, if anything at all, from a distance. So, but there's nothing I can do. I think I can get a little bit closer. There's a kink in the woodland here, so if I get back in that way and walk along the edge, I think I can get a little bit closer and then try and sidle my way out into the middle of the field, or a little bit further out into the field. I won't be able to get too far. Yeah, but right, silent mode now. You've got to be really careful on the edge of this woodland, because there's loads of twigs come down and they tend to go off like pistol shots if you stand on one. We've got the straw as well, so. Right, I can't get any further. Yeah, they're still there. What I'm going to have to do now is try and shimmy across into the field. So just hold on a second. I'm going to have to switch you off and get back to you when I've got into position. So see you in a while. Well, I'm back. That was quite hard on the knees. They're still on the edge, right on the edge of the woodland. They've still got the backs to me, so it made it a little bit easier getting into this position, but you always think potentially that's a lot of wasted effort for not being able to get anything. But I always think that, you know, even if the deer go back in, there's a potential for hares or foxes or whatever. So, you know, I'm in position now, I might as well just wait and see what happens. But I'm still a way away. I mean, I've taken this little bit of film already, so the sun's come out again now, so there's been quite a bit of cloud around. There's potential for tonight for some lovely light, but as I say, because we're on this side of the wood, unfortunately, they're going to be in shadow unless they move into the middle of the field. So, which I'm not even sure. As I say, I don't like the fact that they're walking away from me. Hence, you know, I'm one thing the A1 does do. It means that there's quite a bit of noise. So. It means that I can probably get away with a little bit more noise than I could normally do if you're in a completely still, quiet area. That does drown out quite a lot. So again, it's a little bit of an advantage in that way, even though it's terrible for trying to record videos. So yeah, I've just recorded this little bit of video on the Z8. As you can see, there's a male and a female. And the female's actually gone back into the wood now, so yeah, it's just going to be a waiting game whether they come back out again or not. I don't really want to move. I've done that before as well, thinking that, you know, the action's over and yeah, it's time to go home, and then you're starting to get up and walk up away and they're up and out again. So I do know that where they've gone into the wood there's a little crab apple tree, so whether they're feeding on them or just on the leaves of the tree, I don't know. And actually he's laid down. I can't see him, but he's laid down right on the edge of the wood. What I noticed earlier is he looks like potentially he's a little bit lame, so I don't really want to get up and potentially startle him if he's got some sort of injury. So I'd rather him just disappear into the wood, and then I can do a wide circle and get out of here. But while he's predisposed, I might just see if I can crawl a little bit closer. So this is great for the knees. And what I'll try and do is tap that as well, I think, just to rest the camera on, and I'll leave everything else here. God, this is dusty. I have to say it's a lot more comfortable than the bone hard soil underneath. Hey, he's up again. He's up again. I think he's actually heard me. I'm going to have to be really quiet. I think he's heard me. I think what I'm going to have to do, I haven't brought a tripod with me, so I've travelled really light today, just, oh my God, dust. Sneeze, no sneeze, no sneeze. Right, okay. This is... I love this. He's... I love it when deer are like this. It's like he knows there's something there, but he doesn't know what it is, and he wants to run into the woods, but he wants to know what it is, and he can't make his mind up what he wants to do, whether he wants to run into the woods. He's coming a bit closer, and then he's trying to circle, and you can see his tongue coming out. He's like tasting the air like a snake. He's just trying to get but I've got the wind behind me, which, as I say, is one of the important things. If I'd have come in the other side of the wood, he'd have known I was here straight away. So he's looking straight at where I am, but he just can't make out what I am. This is going to be fun. I'm going to have to take some shots. It's hilarious. He came quite close, got some really nice shots. Unfortunately, I'd like to not get the sky in the background, but obviously because I'm so low down, I'm scooting slightly up, and the closer he gets, the more sky I tend to get in the image. She's not come back out, but he came quite close, and then he sort of snorted at me, and he's gone back, but he still wants to know what I am, and he can't really make his mind up. He'll come back again. Absolutely brilliant. Oh God, this is not comfortable. He's circling around me. He's really trying to get the smell of me on the air. He's coming right round, but he's still not going to be able to get a whiff of me from there. He won't get me scent from there. Oh God, that's good though. I can't physically get round. He's almost behind me now. I can't move. I don't want to startle him. So just wait. Yep. Did you hear that? He's gone so far around me, he finally caught the scent of me, and he's trotted off into the woods behind me. That's how far round he went before he got... Oh God, at least I can get out of this position now. Well, that was pretty uncomfortable. That's about 40 minutes that's taken, where he's been skirting round me. Really, really enjoyable. I really love encounters like this, and as I was saying at the beginning, there's no reason that you can't do this in your own local area. It doesn't really matter where you live. I mean, it's not ideal where I live. Yeah, it's quite rural, but as I say, with the road one side and the Trent the other. And in fact, actually, I did, for the first time a couple of years ago, see roe deer swimming across the Trent. So they will swim it, which I never thought they would, because it's quite wide here and quite fast flowing. But wherever you live, even if you live in a city, you've got the advantage there that you've got things like urban foxes that are a lot easier to get close to than rural foxes. They're almost like a different breed. They're so weary out in the countryside that they're not easy to get close to. Things like cemeteries, graveyards are great places to find wildlife. So, there's no excuse really. Get out into your local area become that local expert, and you'll improve your wildlife photography, not only in your local area, but when you go to other places as well. So absolutely brilliant evening. He's gone back into the wood now. I bet he'll come past me through the wood and then back up to where she is. So I'm going to try and retreat out of here and get a better way back than climbing through the nettles. Really, really enjoyable. I absolutely love roe deer, and yeah, when you get encounters like that, it's really good fun. So yeah, checked out by a roe deer, finally found out what I was, got a good whiff of me and ran off. So all's well that ends well. Anyway, I'll put some of the images up at the end of this video. I hope you enjoyed the bits of film that I took. Would have liked to have taken more, but it's always a toss-up between taking stills and taking video. But yeah, really enjoyed this one. I'll see you next time for another one.